Dating is so funny because, like, you asking me to go to dinner doesn't excite me. Like, you say to me, oh, let's go to dinner, I'm gonna be like, I'd rather stay home. But if you message me and say, all your bills are paid this month, do you wanna go to dinner? Then I'm gonna be like, hell yeah, let's go to dinner.
Y'all already know how I feel about this kind of nonsense. Listen, when they play in your face like that, they really don't like you, man. Um, Anybody asking you to pay all their bills at home, not your spouse, it's not. It's like it's a redundant conversation. It's like you don't want to go out to dinner unless he pays all your bills at home. And if he does that, then you'll go out to dinner. Well, let me tell you something, fella. That's I mean for anybody. I mean, it could be something different with a man. Like, hey, telling the shorty, like, yeah, you can come over, but if you're not doing what I want you to do in terms of, you know what I'm saying, getting busy, y'all know what that means, then don't come over. It's like essentially an ultimatum. When people treat you like that, they just don't respect you. And if you got to figure out a way to kick it with people, then they don't genuinely like you. And I'm going to tell you something. People like this are so miserable. There's no way someone is healthy. I'm not even, when I say whole, I don't mean perfect, like their life is perfect, but just they have like good principles, can be trusted. Because people who can be trusted, who are whole, who have good principles, and are happy people and healthy, they don't move like this. They're not they're not the cream of the crop, man. So yeah, as pretty as she is, with her lip fillers and all of that, it's not worth the time. So won't give it too much time. Let's see what she's talking about.
This guy asked me out to dinner, and I said, I wish I could, but I can't. And he said, why can't you? And I said, because my hands and my toes are not done, and I feel very insecure about them. And he was like, well, I'll just pay for them. And then he sent me money to get them done. That's what I got. And I love them.
Basic nails to me.
I went out to eat with this guy twice already. We're not dating. It's not a date.
Oh.
I'm eating a little bit of ground beef now. It's almost 5 o'clock, and we have a dinner reservation for 8 o'clock. The first two times I went out with him.
She's already been out with him 2 times, and this is the third time. I wonder, and I'm saying this because, just for context, I wonder if they have, gotten busy, for lack of better terms, because they've been out twice, and he's sending her money, $200 to get her nails done. Come on, man. The game. Well, I ain't gonna talk about it. Let me let her finish. Cause what?
I eat very conservatively and like very petite, because I was like, oh, no, it's okay. I don't want that. And he pissed me off last week. So now I'm gonna drain his wallet in the form of sashimi and nigiri, because I love sushi. I love it. And he's a really big foodie. He knows all the great restaurants in Orlando, especially the sushi. So I'm like, and it's always like very high end, great cuts, a toro. I'm gonna fuck it up. And he's like, oh, are you sure you're gonna be able to eat? Because you're skinny now. You're gonna eat those words, sir. Just wait for it.
You know what I've learned? Like, people getting online telling their business like this are some of the most miserable people. They are living for dopamine rushes all the time. It's the same old thing. Oh, look at how I'm using this man. Look at how I'm getting over on this woman. It's like insecurity just bleeding all over the internet. A need for attention just bleeding all over the World Wide Web. But it's nothing new under the sun, people. It's nothing new under the sun. These women thinking that, oh, they're impressing somebody. They're only just telling on themselves, and the people who get in their comment are telling on themselves by agreeing. Nothing wrong with, and let me be clear, it's nothing wrong with taking a woman out to eat if that's what you want to do. But bragging about using another human being, yo, that's low vibrational. That's trash. That's a trash mentality. So let's hear what she's saying. It seems like she's gonna have something to say different from what the other two women had to say. Let's listen. Because real quick, the reason why I say that is because even though there are a lot of women who think that way, there are a lot of men who think a certain way. It would be um, it would be hopeless of us to think that there aren't actual people who don't think that way, and hopefully she'll what she shares will be refreshing because what the last two women just talking silly.
I may get canceled for this, but I don't want my husband to just work and pay bills.
Mm,
I don't want him to not have a hobby. I don't want him to not have healthy mental health. I don't want him to not have savings. I don't want him to work and slave all day, every day to take care of my bills, our bills, and me just sit there and not contribute anything. This is coming from a young lady who has never been married. I don't have any kids. I have a dog. I'm fully educated, pay my own bills right now, and it is difficult. I have a great career, and it is difficult. So when I think of getting married and building with someone or coming together and bringing our assets together, I could never lay in my bed knowing that my husband has no life and no freedom and maybe no peace
mm.
because all he does is work and pay bills so that I can enjoy as if he doesn't deserve to enjoy. I truly want a partnership. I want to contribute. And I'm not talking about if this man was a billionaire, trillionaire, and we just got money flowing everywhere. But what's the likelihood of that? I just can't fathom. And there are some women who can fathom. They don't think about their men, their mental health. I think about my own mental health with the stuff I be going through right now.
Listen, any woman who doesn't care about a man and his health and his hobbies and his passions, she just don't want you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just what it comes down to. And unfortunately, that exists. Any man that only cares about your body, doesn't care to commit, like he just doesn't want you and y'all aren't aligned. It's really that simple. I do like that she's sharing, her heart and that it's opposite of what the other women were saying, just, to where they're looking at men as just kind of like a cash cow, a workhorse. She's essentially saying like even if my husband is rich, I want to be able to contribute. I see she wrote at the bottom, this is a rant. If he's rich, lol, I still want my own money. I don't understand that framework with what she's saying because it doesn't really connect, especially if you're wanting to build with him. Because typically, when people really build together, they don't look at it as this is my money and this is your money. But I can understand, like, with the world we live in, it could be so difficult to really feel safe to like believe that you can have someone that look at life to where it's like, hey, what's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine. I don't even want to say it's mine. I don't want you to even say it's yours. It's just ours. Like it's difficult, especially with so many narratives out there. It could be difficult to even think like that, but it's out there. It's out there. And what she wants sounds good. We have to remember these are words. These are words. These aren't actions. These are words. We don't know who her friends are. We don't know, how she is. But I will say this: when someone is able to articulate things in a healthy way, that's that's a start. Because obviously, the last two women have made it very clear, like we just want men to pay bills. We just concerned about their resources.
Bills, mortgage, no. Your dog gets sick, you get sick. You got to go out, you got to be out for work for a week now because blah, blah, blah. I just, I want a healthy partnership. I
Mm.
want my significant other to know my wife got me. I want him to not be afraid to come home if he gets laid off, if something happens at work,
Mm-hmm.
if he becomes sick and has to take off work for a little bit. I want him to know my wife got us.
Right.
We got savings because my wife been working.
Mm-hmm.
My wife contributes. It's not just on me. I think we really need to think about how that feels for someone when everything is on them.
Mm-hmm.
All the taking care of the kids and their bills and what it costs to feed and uh, clothe and get them into these different schools and activities. You have a wife, you have a house, there's cars, there's vacation potentially, there's 401k, there's healthcare, there's a bunch of things
Right.
that I'm probably not even naming off. And then your world falls apart.
Mm-hmm.
And now who is going to help out with that? Some of the videos that I see on social media is just disappointing
Absolutely.
because it goes to show how men are really not thought of.
Not valued.
Their mental health isn't cared about,
Mm-hmm.
their peace isn't cared about, their interests aren't cared about.
Mm-hmm.
And as somebody who had a father
Mm.
who took care of us, and my
Talk
mom
about
didn't
it.
have to want for nothing, she still decided to work.
That's cool.
And she was a stay-at-home mom. We had a nanny, all those things. And
I will say this from experience, people who had two parent homes and the homes were healthy and they had great examples, for the most part, this is how I've heard them speak. They've been able to relate more so to logic and principle and just how money and family works. A lot of times when I'm hearing these broken ideologies and just selfishness being spewed from from person to person and all over these platforms, when you start to ask the right questions, you start to hear all this brokenness in these people's lives that happened in their childhood, happened to them, and they don't, the only way they know how to cope is selfishness. Rather than going to Jesus and really getting some help and getting some healing, with the right kind of teaching, the right type of mentorship, the right type of therapy. Nah, they just want to say, let's take the easy route out. Be selfish and let's not care about men or let's not care about women. And they just carry on that that trash upbringing that they had and spew it into somebody else's life. Sad.
and she at whatever point decided to go back to work. And she has always raised us and told us it's a partnership.
Mm,
Don't let that man just do everything.
that's good.
That man has heart and feelings.
Mm-hmm.
That man has a million things going on in his head.
Mm-hmm.
You, as his helpmeet, be a helper.
Mm-hmm.
Bring some peace and some ease to him.
Mm,
He deserves to have hobbies too.
mm-hmm.
He deserves a life too. So, all this rhetoric on the internet about I need a provider man and I just want to sit and twiddle my thumbs and go on trips and not account for anything, you have to understand where the weight of bills, which is real for all of us, is going to go. That
Mm-hmm.
man. You
Absolutely.
have to recognize while you are not having any stress and worry, what is happening to that man. You may not have the stress and worry, but now the man has his own stress and worry and is picking up your weight as well. I think it's just very different um, in regular working class people than rich. I'm not talking about rich people. And a lot of people that claim to be rich ain't even rich. A lot of people that claim that they got provider man don't really have them. And they might be providers financially, but what happens spiritually,
Mm-hmm.
emotionally, mentally?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How do they treat your kids or
Mm-hmm.
y'all's kids? Because it's a lot going on TikTok with that.
Let me say this. Um, Man, I hate that I have her paused looking crazy. She's a pretty woman. But let me say this. She don't even have on any makeup and she looks nice. So she's right. A lot of people are lying online. And I do want to say this. When someone leads with their money, when someone leads with their body, when someone leads with a certain type of strength, you want to be careful because that's the thing that they're standing on. And I'm going to tell you this much. Everything in life besides Jesus can and will be challenged. You're going to run into difficulties at some point in time in one way or another. So you gotta be mindful of that. And her upbringing is really showing itself through her conversation. She's able to articulate things in a very peaceful way. You could just see her communication and how she's talking about men and what she desires is completely different from the two previous women. But let me let her finish.
How do they treat you? It's just so much I want to say, but
You killing it, sis. You
be
doing
very,
it.
very mindful of what you think you want.
I agree.
And if you say you are a woman of God, pray
Mm,
about it.
mm.
Ask God the qualities of a man you should be looking for. I want a provider man. What does that look like? Because it's not just financial.
Mm-hmm.
And God can do a lot more with a man of God, and he will care for you in ways you can't imagine over you going over here dating folk that you don't got no business dating because you want a provider. You want to prove a point.
Or chasing money.
Comparison is the thief of joy. It's a lot of people that will rather go to hell to prove that they got all the bags and shoes and trips and sleep with somebody and be with somebody who they do not like and are not attracted
It's crazy.
to prove a point and live a life of luxury, all to go to hell.
And miserable.
But who am I? Who am I?
And they be miserable. That's the point I'm making. Like, they be so miserable. But she said enough, and, I don't have to really say too much. Make sure y'all connect with the brand online, www.there'shopebrand.com. Subscribe, and let's chit-chat more about it in the comment section. I'll catch y'all in the next video.